Hello, welcome to your week 3 summary and week 4 overview video for your immersive module on the football programme. So if we look at what you did this week in week 3, the good news is we've finished our presentations, so we ticked that assessment off. Now we are going to get feedback to you as quickly as possible. We're aiming for the next couple of days at the latest. Just so you're aware, on a typical degree assignment, there's a 4-week turnaround window. That's the absolute maximum amount of time we have to turn it around for you in terms of your feedback and your grade. Now we can do it earlier if everyone's submitted and if we've marked everything and if we've moderated everything. So we're just putting the final touches on that at the moment, and once we've done all of that, we can then release the grades and release the feedback for you. Now what we also started to do in this week, and if we look at what you're doing today or right now with Ryan, we started to change the focus from the presentation to the EduBlog, and more specifically the report. You had a session last week with Ryan around the report planning, and you've got a session today, and also this session around how to write reflectively. And that links specifically to your EduBlog task around your study skills, and this links to your EduBlog task around your report. Now what we're doing next week, so you've got a session on Monday with Ryan around understanding inclusion in sport. So that session will consolidate the work you've done so far around the sports development continuum, and also around the theory that you've done with Tash around the multi-skills qualification. And Ryan will look at that from a perspective of inclusion. You've also got these practical sessions here with me on Tuesday and Thursday. And then we've also got this report planning session on Tuesday straight after your practical. Now in this report planning session, we will also look at the EduBlogs in a bit more depth, so please bring your laptops, because in this session we need to make sure that all of you are signed up and all of you are attached to our class. That way myself, Ryan and Tash can look through your EduBlog at any moment, and that's going to be really important for reasons I'll allude to later on. So obviously in these practical sessions we're going to apply the theory you've done with Tash so far practically. Then you've got a little bit more theory here on Wednesday with Tash in an online session. You've got this task on Wednesday, but I'll set it now. What you need to do is build a CV. Now, if you've got one already, great, that might be it. You might want to tweak it and improve it, but that might be good enough if you think it's a good CV. If you haven't got one, you'll need to build one from scratch. That might be using a template that you find online, or that might just be building one from a blank Word document. But you need to bring that with you to this session here with myself and Terry around exploring future careers, because this session is specifically targeted at developing an effective CV. And in this session here, which is our online session with myself and Terry, is specifically targeted at developing an effective supporting statement for a job application. And then what you'll do here with Tash on Friday is consolidate the theory you've done so far and then look ahead. So the support sessions you've got coming forward over the next few months, but also the practical element that's being built in throughout the year. So if we look at the EduBlog more specifically, you've got these 5 tasks here which you're aware of. So you've got your About Me section, that should be quite simple. Your study skills element in terms of uploading your library study skills task worksheet and your using discovery worksheet, and also your completed gap analysis, which you will build upon from what you submitted in week 1. You've also got this short written reflection here of your wider study skills. If we go back to week 3, which you're doing today with Ryan, this session here around how to write reflectively directly links to this task, where you reflect upon some of your wider study skills, such as any of these here in the examples. Then if we look at employability, find 5 related jobs to your study program. Well, Terry posted a 30-minute video for you to engage with this week. So if you've engaged with that, or if you haven't, then please do so. That directly links to this. With the 5 jobs you find, you then need to post the links on your EduBlog, upload the job description plus any other documentation. And that's really important, because if there's no job description, you won't be able to use that job. In addition to that, if it does have a job description, you must download it and then physically upload it to your EduBlog. So it's not enough just to post a link. The jobs must be either current or within the last 12 months. If it's older than that, again, you won't be able to use it. And if you're in any doubt, please message me and I'll clarify for you. What you'll then do is select one of those jobs, and you'll focus on that by writing a specific CV and a specific supporting statement. And we've obviously got the sessions with myself and Terry later on next week on Thursday and Friday to cover these aspects. You'll then upload all of your worksheets that you're doing with Tash for the multi-skills qualification. And if I get back to this to next week, you've got this session here on report planning with me where we said we're going to make sure that all of you are on EduBlogs and you're attached to the class. And that's really important because after this session, myself, Ryan and Tash can start to look at your EduBlog as you're building it, and therefore Tash can start to mark the worksheets that you're putting up on your EduBlog from Tuesday. And that's really important for a number of reasons, but most importantly, if any of your worksheets aren't quite up to the level it needs to be, Tash can tell you and you can go and develop that a little bit further. You've then got the report element. Now with the report, what you'll need to do is build that in an appropriate format. So everything that Ryan spoke to you about in terms of title page and contents page and headings. You'll also need to make sure that it's in an appropriate font and font size. So we don't want to see anything in size 16 font, for example. It needs to be in the correct font and font size. And that report will be submitted on Learning Space into this aspect here, this EduBlog submission here. Now within that, you will also on your title page post a link to your EduBlog. So I can open up your report and mark your report, but also by clicking on that link in your report on the title page, I will be able to see the rest of your EduBlog and therefore mark that. You will also need to make sure that your report is on your EduBlog. So your report goes and Turnitin with the link to your EduBlog website, but also you will need to upload your report document onto your EduBlog as well. And then as we look down into the assessment information, if you want further guidance, you've got this support tool here around your EduBlog, but you've also got some additional resources here in terms of report writing.